work on August 8th. Joageo, KTN News.
All right, so that is our top story this evening, and we want to have a conversation around that. Joining me in studio is Dr. Roselyne Akombe, who is a commissioner at the IEBC. Thank you so much for joining us on Friday briefing.
Thank you, Betty.
All right, so one of the reasons that was given for the termination of Gemalto SA was that there were budgetary constraints. So how much is this new procurement going to cost me as a Kenyan?
Thank you very much, Betty, for your question, and thank you for hosting me here today. On the technology, first, let me say that we as commissioners, new commissioners of the IEBC and our staff are committed to ensuring that we have free and fair elections.
Right.
That is our main goal. Credible, free and fair elections. And we have committed to do everything we can to make sure that we meet those obligations that the Constitution has placed on us and the commitments that we gave to the Kenyans when we took our oath of office.
Right.
On the resources or the amount of money that is required for this, when we opened the financials for the company that we just cancelled the tender, we realized that what they were quoting was much higher than what the budget was provided for us.
Right.
But we believe that with the deal that we are going to work out with the Saffron Identity, we will be able to cover that within the budget that is approved for us.
So what is that deal? How much is that deal worth?
You know, Betty, procurement issues are issues that fall within the remit of the accounting officer, who is our CEO. Since those are issues that are still being under discussed, all I can commit to inform you is that the cost will be much lower than what Gemalto was quoting for us. Much
lower. Is this information that we will have in the next few days? Because this is really a conversation that has been out there with many Kenyans. They want to know how much is this thing going to cost.
Absolutely. I mean, we have again sworn to be transparent to the Kenyan people. When we cancelled the tender today, we talked about ensuring that we give value for the money, value for what we're going to be getting out of this.
All right.
So we'll be transparent. We'll provide that information at the appropriate time.
One of the other reasons that you gave to terminate the previous tender is that there was so much time that was lost in regards to litigation, a lot of court processes. Are you anticipating this is going to happen, especially considering that this is a single-sourced procurement, which, in the past has brought a lot of confrontations and a lot of challenges back in court?
Betty, we are a country that is ruled by law and order. We believe very, very strongly that once people come out and litigate, it actually shows something about our institutions.
It slows the process, though.
But it also shows that our judiciary works, and that is why people are going forward and putting their litigation there. But what I wanted to stress here is that we believe very strongly that regardless of what happens in terms of the litigation processes, we've already taken the steps. We've already gotten into a commitment with Saffron. We have already gotten a commitment on when those kits will be made available in the country. We want to ensure that we use technology for purposes of these elections, not only because the law demands of us to do that, not only because Section 44A demands of us to do that, but because we believe we owe the Kenyan people a transparent way of having the elections, using the biometric verification to ensure that there are no dead voters that come on election day.
So why was Saffron the best bet then this time round? Because like I mentioned in the past, there has been controversy about the BVR kits procurement back in 2013. There was also issues to do with an Auditor General's report in 2014 that said that, there was an overpayment. So, it comes at a time when, there was very many concerns that, were coming in regards to this particular tender. So why did you choose that Saffron would be the best bet?
Betty, we have been spending a lot of time as new commissioners looking at what is best for this country. The people of Kenya want us to deliver elections, and we want to make sure that we do it in a very efficient and cost-effective way. What we have done is we have evaluated everything that we have on our table. We are looking at the lessons of 2013. And the lessons of 2013 were that the technology was acquired 1 month before the elections. The technology was not compatible. You had MOFO at that time providing the BVRs, and you had Face Technologies coming in much later to provide the EVITs. And that was the problem. What we are trying to do now is to avoid the problems of 2013 by ensuring that we have a company that is going to provide compatibility in our systems. The current systems that we have within the IEBC are those that were provided to us initially through Saffron. And what we want to ensure is that we have maximum integration and compatibility of our systems. It is not the time for us to start picking a different company at this time that has a different system that is not compatible, that will fail like 2013. For us, we owe the Kenyan people something better than 2013.
Is the IEBC dealing directly with Saffron, or is it, because last time it was government to government, the Canadian government to the Kenyan government. This time round, is IEBC going to be involved directly with the company, or are we likely to see the same thing?
Betty, I think we've learned from what happened in 2013. We have learned how the procurement system worked then and what laws didn't go well or went well. So what we are doing now is that we've decided as a commission that we have the capability to be able to follow the Procurement Act, to be able to follow all the laws that exist that allow the Commission to go towards direct procurement. And it's for that reason that we have chosen this as the best medium for us to use in order for us to get the technology on time, in a timely manner, so that we can be able to deliver what the Kenyan people are demanding of us, which is free, IEBC, credible elections.
So are you saying that IEBC is going to be directly in contact with Saffron?
I think that is the point that I'm making here, that we have learned from how the processes were done in 2013. We, as IEBC, will be undertaking to do that procurement directly, and we are not using any other medium in between.
All right, let's talk about the timelines, because that is also a major concern with Kenyans. This system was supposed to be in place, by April, and then at least then the test starts in May. Are you going to beat that deadline?
Betty, absolutely. I am absolutely confident that we will be able to meet that deadline, and that is why we went ahead to cancel the tender. We know the capability of Saffron. We have worked with Saffron in the past. We have seen where, and again here I speak as an electoral expert, somebody who has worked for many years on elections with the United Nations. We have seen these companies work and deliver. So I'm absolutely confident that the technology will be here within the timelines that have been specified in the Election Act. And
we're talking about this about 2 weeks.
Trust me, when we say that we are confident, we are confident. We wouldn't be here talking about lack of confidence on an issue that is so important. We have spent a lot of time as commissioners. Chairman Chebukati has spent a lot of time looking at various options and all options. And so when Chairman Chebukati and the commissioners came out today to tell the nation that this is what we are going to be, this is how we are moving forward, it is based on all factors that we have looked through. It is based on discussions that we have had, and we are confident that we'll have the system in place, because our goal really is to ensure that we have free, fair and credible elections in 2017, and those will be held on time on the 8th of August.
All right, finally, Dr. Ari, let's talk about consultations, because has been a really serious issue in the past when it comes to such decisions. And the opposition, says that they need to be consulted about, and especially that this time round it's single sourcing. Are you foreseeing any issues to do with that? And how are you going to deal with that?
Consultations with political parties is absolutely important, with all stakeholders. And more importantly, with the Kenyan people, because in the end, as we always say, at the IEBC that is under new management, the Kenyan people are our #1 stakeholder. So we are committed to having those consultations. We have established a committee called the ETAC, which is an election technical advisory committee that is made up of representatives from the major political parties.
Right.
We are convening discussions. We are going to be having detailed discussions with the political parties. We are reaching out to the religious groups and explaining to them what we are doing. And we'll be spending a lot of our time in the next few days reaching out to the Kenyan people and assuring them that we are prepared for the elections. We are going to be using technology for the elections. We'll be using biometric verification of the fingerprints before people go in to vote, and we will transmit the election results biometrically. We are not moving away from the law. The law requires of us to use technology, and we are committed to ensuring that we use that technology to be able to deliver free and fair elections to the Kenyan people.
All right.